Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ben. So I literally just stepped out of the shower because I was jamming in the shower, but then I kept hearing messages come through. So I hopped out of the shower, my hair's still wet, and I want to see whatever message has to come through for you. So that's what we're doing. It felt urgent, whatever it was, so let's find out. Okay, so either you or your person is really reminiscing right now, and you're missing each other. You're thinking about, like, the memories you shared together, the times you shared together, like, things you did together. And you also might be watching each other, the Page of Swords on the bottom there. Or one of you is watching the other, at least. Damn. Okay. Damn. I'm gonna pull a little bit more. Wow. No wonder this was urgent. The Six of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Devil, the Three of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. There is a lot of mental conflict going on right now. I mean, look at this. Look at these cards. Does that look fun to you? No, it does not. For a minute I thought I didn't plug the mic in. We're good. Yeah, that shit's not fun. So your person is like, why do I feel like I'm like not centered? What? Why do I feel like this looks weird today? Hello? Is that better? I feel like that's better. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to take this as your person. For this urgent energy to come through, I don't feel like it's yours. Whoever your counterpart is that you're in separation from. I was making sure it wasn't important. Anyway, it was just my stocks. But my Robin Hood. This person's sitting in regret. They're sitting in a lot of regret. So it seems like this person was the one that not caused, because both counterparts are the cause of their separation, but it seems like this person was probably the first one to cut you out of their life. So if that's you, take it how it fits, okay? So whichever one of you is the first one to cut the other one out completely, like remove each other on everything, stop speaking, you know what I mean, the whole 9 yards. And now, whoever that person was, whether it was you or your person, is sitting in regret and thinking about the Two of Cups here, the soul connection that you guys share. That's heavy. Let me pull another row and then pull some clarifiers, and then we'll really get into it. So this isn't going to be a you versus them today. This is just an important message coming through from your person. Why do I feel like the camera angle is still fucking weird? Am I bugging? It's got to just be me, right? I don't know. Whatever. I'm just going to leave it. It just looks strange. So maybe your person is like, things just like don't feel right to them. Like something feels off. Like this is probably the same. This is probably how my camera angle looks all the time. But for some reason, it looks weird to me right now. So I feel like for your person, something wanted to pop out and then changed its mind. So I feel like okay. So your person is wanting to change the situation, but they're overthinking it and they're unsure of how to fix it. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so this person cut you off in thinking that you would chase them like you used to, but you're not chasing them, right? So now they're sitting out here in the cold like, damn, like, I really thought this person was going to chase me. I didn't expect this cutoff to be, like, I didn't expect it to actually end the connection between the both of us. That's what they're thinking. You can't actually end a twin flame connection, but when they did this, they were just expecting it to be like a regular argument that you guys have, where you would probably chase them afterwards and try to fix the situation, but you're not doing that. And you haven't been doing that. And now this person is sitting there like, fuck, what do I do now? Because that was not the plan. Like, the plan was not for this to actually be over. It was, supposed to just be an argument and then we'd make up or whatever. But you that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? Like, after so many times of, man, I'm going to get to this in a minute, but after so many times of this person, you know, ghosting you or ignoring you or not treating you how you deserve, which means you weren't treating you how you deserve, okay? You're not perfect in this situation, but this is their message coming through here, so this is how they're feeling. Like, they didn't treat you how you deserve. You were just, you know, doing your best for them. You wanted to do everything you could for them because you love them and care about them. But this person, they really took it for granted. They were doing some shit. Like, with the Seven of Swords here, they weren't being completely honest with you. They were that figure in the dark, you know what I mean? So, like I said, I'm about to pull clarifiers for all of this, but they're in heavy regret now. I mean, heavy. Before I pull clarifiers, the three that just came out, the Nine of Cups, the Magician, and Temperance. Now look at this person. Now they're like, how the fuck do I fix this? Like, how do we get back to this? You know? This person is sitting in some heavy energy, and I feel like you're picking up on that. So if this reading just found you, it found you probably because you were thinking, like, what the fuck is this energy? Like, what is going on right now? Why do I feel this way? This is why. Booking.com has all kinds of stays. Just lay back. Shut the fuck up. What? No, nobody wants ads, okay? I usually have YouTube Premium, but I haven't paid for it yet for this month. I refuse to listen to ads, so you're gonna stare at my old PS4 screen, okay? I refuse to listen to ads on anything. I fucking hate them. Stupid programming. I refuse. So anyway, no fireplace today. But, yeah, like I was saying, now this person is in heavy fucking regret. And they're like, how do I fix this? I don't know what to do. This wasn't supposed to happen. This wasn't part of the plan. Now this person, you, is sitting there like, I'm fucking chilling. Like, you know, you want to cut me off, fine. I'm going to keep living my life. I'm going to keep doing what's best for me. Like, it got to a point where no matter how much you love this person or how much you wanted to help them, it was detrimental to your own health. It was not equal. You were giving a lot more in this situation than they were. That's why when Temperance just came out, they're trying to do that equal give and take. See how they're pouring between the cups? That's what they want now. That was not the case in the past. They were draining your cup. You were giving everything, and they weren't really giving anything at all back, if at all. And it's not that they didn't care or they didn't feel the connection with you, because they definitely did. That's why they're heavy in regret now. But that's what I want to find out. I want to see why they did that, why they didn't do that. King of Swords on the bottom of that deck. So now they're sitting in a position where they want to communicate. But now, a Nine of Cups again. Now they're like, how do I communicate with someone that already has everything? Like, how do I, like, someone that has Nine of Cups, how do I give them that last cup? Look, they're chilling. They got fucking 9 organized cups here. How can I come in and give them that last one? Like, how do I do that? They're really trying to figure it out, and they're not understanding how. So, give me a second. I gotta pull all these clarifiers here. Dude, this person, look at these cards, okay? So, there are so many repeating cards here, like Three of Swords, you got fucking Queen of Pentacles over there, and then you have Temperance up there, you have, where is it? I just saw it. Temperance, oh here, Five of Pentacles. A lot of these cards are repeating, like this, and the energy of this reading is like, they feel like, what happened to my voice? Throat chakra. They feel like no matter what they try to do, this is what they're currently thinking. No matter what they want to do, they feel like you're going to reject them. They feel like if they come in, you're going to reject them. They're hoping that you don't, but they have a huge fucking fear right now that you're going to, because they have the Fool here. They want to take this new beginning, and this has been coming out in every single reading I've done this whole week. And they want to come in, They want this union with you, right? This is the 411 card, one of the twin flame cards, right? At least for me. And this is a marriage here. So they are thinking about this higher commitment with you, but they feel like they're going to get this. They feel like they're going to get the Queen of Swords, and you're just going to be like, huh, sit down. Like, I don't want to hear it. That's what they think you're going to do. Or they're really fearful that they're going to be met with that energy. And the reason they're fearful of that is because of what happened with the two of you in the past. I'm like, damn, like, the devil came out twice in this reading. The first time you have it is right here. You have the devil with the Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. So one of the toxic things they brought to this connection, right? Because both halves bring toxic shit into this connection. One for them was they refused to move. Like, they were extremely stubborn. If you were trying to resolve something that happened between the two of you, they did not care what you had to say. They would just shut down, shut you out. They'd be like, they genuinely would not listen to you, or they'd walk away from the conversation, or they'd literally just leave. Like, they didn't care what you had to say, because they didn't respect you. You know what I mean? They did respect you, but not to the level that you deserve to be respected. You know what I mean? Like, they were just, their perspective of you at that time was less than them. And I don't feel like this was a conscious thing. I feel like it was subconscious, because remember, you're coming through, I don't know if I mentioned it, but you have the Empress over here. You're coming through as the Empress. So they're seeing you as an incredible person, and that makes someone. And when someone is around an Empress, all right, especially if this is your divine counterpart, if you're in an Empress energy and this person is not ready to meet you at that level, like, they're not ready to confront their shadow, they're not ready to do the work, they reject it. All right, so they go, this person is intense. The Empress is a very intense person. Like, I'm a very intense person. Like, I feel very deeply. I know what I want. I say what I want. I mean what I say. And that intimidates a lot of people, because they're like, I wonder what Ben meant by that. I mean exactly what I said. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I word things exactly how I mean them. If someone asks me, hey, do you want to do this? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. Maybe one day I will, but it's not today. They'll be like, oh, I wonder what's going on with Ben. Like, why doesn't he want to come out? I'm like, I just don't want to go. I just want to relax by myself. And they're like, oh, I wonder, like, if he's hanging out with somebody else. And then this has happened to me in the past, where people would actually drive to where I am to see what I'm doing. Like, obviously I don't talk to these people anymore, but you know what I mean? Like, people would check up on me to see, like, what's Ben actually doing? Or like, I've dated some people in the past that do that. Like, if I end the relationship with somebody and they can't fathom that I just don't want to be in a relationship with them, I just want to be by myself, they're like, no, he's seeing somebody else, like, he's doing all this stuff, and they'll actually, like, try to see what I'm fucking up to, right? Extremely low vibrational energy. And the reason people do this is because they don't have that integrity themselves. Like, they don't have those boundaries. They don't know how to speak up for themselves. They don't know how to embody that energy. So when they meet somebody who says what they want, knows what they want, means what they say, and stands in their integrity and is happy by themselves, obviously you can welcome the company of other people, but only if it adds to your life. It's not going to take anything away. Like, this is my sanctuary, my personal space. I like being alone, right? But if you can add to that, if my life is better with you in it, then great. But if not, stay away from me. Like, people can't fathom that. So because you are standing, well, actually I should say unhealed people can't fathom that. Because counterparts, you will get to a point where you're both in that energy, but it's not right now. Especially it was not in the past for this person. So because they were seeing you in that way, it was very intimidating, because they couldn't bullshit you. They couldn't pull one over on you. You always knew this person's true intentions. You always knew, like, if they would say one thing to your face, you knew if they were lying to you. You'd be like, you just lied to my face. Like, you know, I see past your mask, right? Like, people try to present this mask, and most people fall for it. But awakened people, especially those with the gift of sight, like, you know, I've always had the gift of sight. I see right through anybody. And a lot of people in the spiritual community have that. Anyone can have these gifts, but it depends how much how much experience you have with them. Given my life, the way it's been, all the trauma I've been through, everything, the way I survived was by reading other people's true intentions, regardless of what they showed on the outside, since I was born. You know what I mean? So I know what I see. Like, I see if somebody puts up a mask, and I put up a mask most of my life. Like, I was extremely good at masking who I was, and I'm not proud of that. I was a master manipulator when I was younger, and I was damn fucking good at it, because that's what I needed to do to survive. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I survived growing up. So I can see right through it. When someone tries to do it to me, and when someone tries to do it to you, we see right through it, because we've been there, done that. We know the tricks. Like, we know the tricks of the trade. You know what I mean? So if this person tried to bullshit you, or pull one over on you, or hide their true feelings, like, there might have been times of vulnerability when this person shared to you how deep a feeling they have for you, but they always held back a little bit. Like, they didn't want to fully speak it into existence, right? Didn't matter. You know it. You pick up on it. Especially divine counterparts, you know that other person because they are you. You can't hide anything. If you look in the mirror, there's nothing hidden. It's your exact reflection, just mirrored. You know what I mean? So they were very intimidated by that. So it's not that they thought they were better than you consciously. Like, they were like, I'm better than this person. No, but subconsciously, because they were insecure in their own energy, and because they felt like you are in a very powerful energy, it automatically, their insecurities put them in an energy of, whatever, I don't need to listen to this person. Like, they don't know what they're talking about. That deflection, right? They're like, no. They're trying to distance themselves from it, meaning you, because they weren't ready to confront it, to deal with it. So that's what this person was doing in the past. Okay, now, with that energy, they made a lot of mistakes in this energy. They, like I said, they weren't treating you how you deserved. They're having all these realizations now, to the max. They didn't treat you how you deserved. You know, they were wearing a mask. They were, unfortunately, they were talking about you to other people, and they weren't being honest. The things they were telling people was painting you in a bad light. And I don't feel like they were doing, sorry, throat chakra. Damn, they don't want me saying this, but I'm saying it. They weren't intentionally painting you in a bad light. Like, they weren't going to people being like, fuck this person. No. But what they were doing is, when you would be brought up, or when they would confide in somebody, they would only say the bad things that were happening and the good things about them. So that, in people's mind, creates a very negative picture of you. Because if they're not saying the good things, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this person did this, this, and this for me. I really appreciate that. People will be like, wow, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. But no, if they're only going to people like, this person tried to tell me I need to heal this, or this person, you know, thinks they know this. So, like, they were just constantly in an energy of, you don't know what you're talking about. And then they were trying to get validation from other people to feel that, right? They were seeking external validation because they were insecure and they didn't have the confidence in their own energy. So the easiest thing to do is to go to other people for validation. Now, when people, when you have friends or you have people that are close to you, it's subconscious that they're going to try to bond with you, right? So this is where you got to be really careful with friendships. This is why you don't go to people for advice. You always trust your inner knowing. If you want to, vent to somebody, sure, but don't take their word as the word of God. You know what I mean? Like, people speak through their own trauma, through their own projections, through their own lives. So if you're going to people venting about somebody constantly, they're going to have a very negative picture of this person, right? And so any advice you ask them in regards to the situation is going to be negative, because that's all you've been showing about the connection. You know what I mean? So whoever they were going to confide in or for advice, it led to a very toxic dynamic and reputation for the connection you guys shared. Because if you look here, here's where the devil came out twice. So it came out with that temperance that we talked about, with the devil and the 3 of Pentacles. So the whatever work situation was going on, maybe they were confiding in people at work. If you guys worked together, it created an extremely toxic work environment, because all of these fucking people had opinions. All of these people were involved. And that's not good. especially for divine connections, it's hard enough for twin flames to go through their connection, let alone all of these outside opinions that have no idea what the journey even is and have never done any of their own healing. You know what I mean? Especially not to a divine connection degree, because that is extreme healing. That's all of your core wounding. That's what we do in the shadow work, and most people will never touch that in their fucking life. That's why most people will never understand this connection. The only people that understand a twin flame connection are other twin flames. Like, you can't understand something if you haven't done the healing. You know what I mean? And that's just one thing. Like, they're up at night. They can't fucking sleep. Like, so you're probably having trouble sleeping. They're having nightmares. They're reliving certain moments in their dreams. And if they are dreaming about you in a good way, it's fucking them up when they wake up. Because now they're having great dreams about you, and then they wake up back to the waking life, right? I was not going to say reality, because there's no such thing as reality. It's all perception. But they wake up from the dream, and they realize, like, they remember, like, oh, fuck, like, no matter how great that dream was, look at this. Like, I'm not even speaking to this fucking person. You know what I mean? They're just living in regret. And it's like a lot of tears, a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of just wishing that different things had happened. Look at that. Let's see if I can show you. Hold on. So one of my stocks just came up. Now, crypto is extremely volatile in how it fluctuates. But look at that. Dogecoin just hit exactly 2.0000000. That never happens. It's changing every second. So for me to get that notification, it's showing that this person is coming into the balance that they need to. And it may seem long overdue, but remember, everything is divine timing, not our timing, because our timing doesn't mean shit, all right? Our ego does not get to decide when things happen. That's not how it works, right? You are a co-creator with spirit. So you set your intention, you do your healing, and you surrender certain things to spirit, like divine timing, okay? And I see a lot of people that don't actually understand what magic is, all right? So when people are doing love spells, or they're, you see a lot of readers, unfortunately, because a lot of people can read tarot, but not everyone should read tarot for a fucking reason. Like, people that read tarot and are like, oh, go to my website and purchase this cord cutting spell, or like, oh, purchase like this spell to manifest your twin flame back. That's all actually black magic. You don't want to fuck with that. You're gonna make your journey even fucking longer, because you can't force somebody else to do something. And you trying to sever a connection is not gonna happen, number one. And number two, you're trying to sever a connection with yourself. You know what I mean? And if you're doing spell work to bring somebody back into your life, or to make certain things happen with another person in your life, that's black magic. You're trying to force something on another person. You're going against free will. Okay, so all good magic includes free will. And if you're imposing on somebody's free will, you are going to receive the karma for that. It's going to come right back at you. All right, especially for a divine counterpart. As protected as you are, they are also protected, okay? A lot of people don't understand what magic actually is. They're like, oh, do spells, crystals, sure. No, you need to understand what magic actually is, okay? Trust me, I did some stupid shit in my life. Like I said, back in the day when I was younger, like when I was a teenager, and I was first getting into magic, I was doing the wrong things. I was doing black magic, sometimes in a very, very bad way, because I had so much trauma, and I was a very violent person. So I would also use magic in a bad way. And trust me, I paid for it more than you would ever believe. The amount of karma I've gotten in my life, especially back then, I paid for it dearly, okay? That's why I'm so adamant now, and that's why I always try to tell people you need to understand the difference when it comes to magic. Don't ever do black magic. Don't go near it. Don't do anything about it, right? And remember, a lot of times your counterpart, if there's always an awakened twin and there's a matrix twin at the beginning, okay? Only at the beginning. As you go through your journey, you guys both come into balance. You come into alignment. But at the beginning, one twin, typically the runner, whoever's the runner in the connection, is typically a matrix twin. So what that means is they reject. They may be a spiritual person when it comes to, like, they have faith, they pray, they do a lot of that. But when it comes to certain things like intuition, tarot, magic, a lot of things that society will say are like evil, you know what I mean? And that's intentional, but I'm not going to go on a rant about that. But anyway, so they have a warped perception of magic, of intuition, of esotericism, hermeticism, you know, any label you want to put on it. When it comes to the occult, they have a very warped perception because they're a matrix twin. So at the beginning, so they're used to what the news tells them, or like if anyone who watches the news is asleep as fuck. Okay, if you watch the news, I'm sorry to tell you, you have a long way to go. You gotta stop watching that bullshit. It's all programming. It's not fucking real. Anyway. So they're used to seeing a lot of that stuff. If they were raised in a religion, a lot of religions. See the tongue twisting happening here? They don't want me to say that. A lot of religion is about control, and part of control is rejecting your own magic, right? Because you can't control someone that has their own magic. You can only control someone that's afraid of their own potential. Hence religion, right? So anyway, the reason I'm saying that is this person, in the past, remember, they were very intimidated by you. They were probably intimidated by your gifts. They were intimidated by your ability to know things, or your connection to spirit, or literally, like, a lot of the energies you embody. They've probably had bad experiences in their life, maybe with somebody or multiple people who also claim to do magic, or maybe they have a family history or something where people that claim to do magic but actually use it for bad. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. With twin flames, there's always an underlying reason. But the reason I'm mentioning that is because this person is so unbelievably down right now, and you guys are going to mirror each other. So for this person to be that down, make sure you are taking care of your own mental health. You are taking care of your own energy. So send this person your love and wish them the best, even if you don't focus on them right now, because you don't want to. When one of the twins is going through a dark night of the soul, when they're going through these moments, they have to do it alone, but you can still send them your love and your energy, right? And in the past, this person, like I said, probably had a very warped perception of magic and might have thought you were doing love spells on them. If you were, don't ever do that again. I swear to God, don't do that shit again. Okay? But if you weren't, they definitely felt like it because of their they didn't understand the connection. They're like, how do I feel so strongly about this person? Like, I'm normally so composed, or I'm normally have such a hold on my emotions, or nobody gets to me like that, or nobody really sees me for who I truly am. How could they see that? Like, they were very confused. So in the past, they feared your magic. Now they miss it. Like, they miss your energy. They miss everything about you. That's why I'm going on this long explanation. This is all coming from them. Like, they miss your everything about you. They miss your intuition. They miss your connection to spirit. They miss your ability to understand people. They feel like they're around a lot of people right now that have no idea who they really are. Like, the people around them believe the mask and the suit that they put on every day. You are the only person that saw this person for who they truly were and loved them for who they truly are. There may have been other people in their life, maybe one or two other people, that had seen their true colors and ran from it because they were not meant for this person. So yeah, maybe they had the ability to see this person, right? Underneath all the armor, underneath the mask, and they couldn't handle it because they weren't meant to handle it. You come along, you see this person, you take off their armor, you take off the mask, you're like, I see you for who you are, I know who you are, and you're fucking beautiful inside and out. This person freaks out. They're like, hell no. Like, I remember last time I let my walls down like this, and somebody said they saw me and then they abandoned me, or then they left me, or then they said I was crazy, or there's no fixing me, or I have too much baggage, or I've been through too much bullshit. Like, people were afraid of their scars. You were never afraid of their scars. And now they are missing all of it. They are missing you, the connection, how safe they felt with you, how intimate. And no one else sees them for who they are like you did, you know? It's like, if this person probably presents very in control and very very tough exterior. Remember, gender doesn't mean shit. This could be anybody I'm talking about. They present in a very masculine way. But unfortunately, it's a distorted masculine way. Or it was, because it's actually changing now. But it was, meaning they didn't show vulnerability. They didn't want people to see them cry. Okay, why am I zooming in? They didn't want people zooming in on them, you know? But they refused to let anybody in. So, but you're gonna think back right now of times when this person did with you, they would open up, or you did see them cry, probably quite often. They probably cried more around you, like they felt safest with you. So they probably cried around you more than they've cried around anyone in their entire life. You know what I mean? Because they knew you weren't going to judge them. They knew you weren't going to make fun of them, and you weren't going to say they're weak, you know? You probably told this person all the time, like, you're fucking crazy strong. Like, let that emotion out. Like, you carry so much around on your shoulders every single day, you know? Let it out. Like, I'm here to, I'll give you, like, I'll hold you while you cry. Like, it's you know, you got to let it out. You don't have to be tough, you know what I mean? Like, come here, give me a hug, and just let it out, you know? And this person is really, really missing that. They are really missing. They feel like they don't have their safe space anymore. They feel like they're missing their home. They don't have that sanctuary, you know, of comfort and love and safety and, you know, everything they felt with you. They don't have that, and they're really struggling with it. They're like, why did I do that? Why did I act like that? Like, they're actually speaking to themselves. They're like, why? I don't understand why it was so hard for me to just tell this person I love them and I appreciate them. And like, that's what they're feeling now. But at the time, they just weren't able to handle it. They weren't in the mindset of, they hadn't done the healing yet. You know what I mean? And, I feel like this person also, this person probably told you that you're too emotional or you're too sensitive, because over here you have the Queen of Pentacles with the Empress and the Page of Pentacles, and then you have the Magician again with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords. So they felt like when you would communicate, you were extremely vulnerable. You were extremely open. You were extremely sensitive in the way that you speak. And at the time, you know, back then, they saw that as weakness. They're like, why would you speak like that? Or why would you show that, like, something's bothering you? Or, like, why are you being so sensitive? Like, that to them was strange, because they didn't communicate that way. They never had someone they could, they felt, you know, confident to communicate like that. Like, someone who's done their inner healing, and not that I'm not putting you on a pedestal, because you're both equal. So if they were fucked up, you were fucked up. But if this person was in masculine energy, that means you were in feminine energy, and you were used to embracing your emotions. You were used to having that gentleness and that sensitivity to life, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, the reason femininity was worshipped in so many cultures, you know, throughout the world, is because that's the energy of creation. You know, that feminine energy is creation. You know what I mean? It's the birthing something into life, versus the masculine energy is protecting that energy. So this is where gender stereotypes get brought in. This is where religion warped that, and they're like, a man works and the woman stays home. Like, that's fucking stupid. Like, that's not at all what the real teachings say. The real teachings say that the masculine energy protects and provides for the feminine energy. And then the feminine energy provides a safe and comforting place for the masculine to rest their head when they're, you know, doing all that stuff. It has nothing to do with gender. You know what I mean? Like, a woman can live in masculine energy and be doing that for their feminine, who might also be a woman, or might be a man, or anybody fucking in between. I'm an in between. You know what I mean? Like, I don't fucking care about labels. It doesn't matter. It's just showing that that's the point. Like, the whole fucking point of the twin flame journey is you guys balancing both energies within yourself. So if you were mostly feminine energy before, you have to heal your masculine energy. And if they were mostly masculine energy, they have to feel their feminine energy, and then vice versa. And you flop back and forth. And that's why there's no such thing as a masculine twin or a feminine twin. You're both. Like, you're both. You know what I mean? It just depends on where you are in your healing journey, which one you're mostly healing at that time, you know? But anyway, what I'm saying is this person probably, they saw you in that way. They did. They saw you in that way in the past because they were rejecting their own feminine energy. They were like, hell no. Like, I can't. That's why they were intimidated. They were like, I'm not gonna fucking, like, be vulnerable and, like, share my emotions and you know, show my raw, authentic self. Like, that's scary. Like, I'm not doing that. And you just walked around doing it all the time. Like, that really intimidated this person, right? So now they're seeing it differently. They're like, I miss the sensitivity of this person. I miss how in tune they were with things. I miss how like free and open I could be with them without feeling like somebody's gonna judge me or laugh at me or say like, oh, why are you talking about that? You acting like a girl, regardless of who they are. Remember, it's just like a fucking term people say because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You know what I mean? It's just like toxic shit. That's just toxic shit that people say because they haven't fucking done any healing themselves, especially when it comes to that stuff. But you see the energy I'm in for this reading? It's like almost like I can feel the frustration of your person, not toward you, but they're just trying. They're trying to understand. You know what I mean? And I feel like they definitely have come a very long way in their healing. It's just before a breakthrough, the most intense feelings always happen before a breakthrough. That's the point. The dark night of the soul always happens right before a rebirth. Think about a phoenix. A phoenix has to burn the fuck up and turn to ash before it can be reborn, right? So this person right now is being reborn. And they're going through a complete transformation. And it's beautiful, but it's so uncomfortable for them. Like, they've come a long way. Now they are, you know, being more sensitive in their life and toward other people. Like, you know, they're thinking about you. They're thinking about what would you do if you were in this situation. And they're trying to embody that energy. Remember, they used to be fearful of it. It used to make them insecure. But now they look to you for inspiration almost when it comes to that energy. And we're going to flip it here to you for a second. I know this is a message from them, but you are also looking at your counterpart in the same way. You're looking at things that you admire about them, and you're trying to embody that in your own life. You know what I mean? Because it goes both ways. I'm not at all putting you on a pedestal. You guys are always fucking equal. If they're really fucked up, you're really fucked up. If they're really healing, you're really healing, okay? The only reason I'm focusing on them right now is because this reading is a message from them. You know what I mean? It's not a you versus them in this one, which I don't even like that term. I usually say you and them because there's no versus. Versus means separation, which is, we don't have that. So anyway, I digress. But that's how this person's feeling. They're just like, they miss your energy. And this person is seeing you in a brand new light. Remember how I said before how this person was seeing you as like a delicate little flower, like a delicate little sensitive flower. But little do they know, for someone to embody that energy, it means they've been through a lot, right? And they're changing their perspective on you. They're like, this person, speaking about you, they're like, this person, no wonder they're so like caring and sensitive to other people, because look at all the bullshit they've been through in their life. Like, no one ever treated them that way, and it felt like shit. So that's why they try to treat others in that way the best they can, because they're treating others how they want to be treated. You know, it's the golden fucking rule. If there's only one rule you remember for your life, it's treat other people how you would want to be treated. It's really that simple, you know? And they're looking at you that way. They're looking at you that way. They're like, this person is just, they're giving out this beautiful energy because they've been through so much. And if you were someone in your past, like, I know I can speak for myself on this, I was not at all this person for a long time in my life. Like, when I was young, I was always I was a weird kid. I didn't care. But anyway, when I was a teen, I went the other way. I became all my trauma and all my wounding, and I grew up in survival mode my entire life. So I just went the other way. I became like I said, I was a master manipulator. I was an asshole. I was a player. Like, I did a lot of shit, right? I hurt a lot of people, and I embodied that energy that I mentioned here in this reading. How your person was like, I'm not showing vulnerability. I don't cry. Like, no, I don't do any of that. Me sitting I was in distorted masculine energy for a very long time, like most of my life. You know what I mean? So, then when you meet your counterpart and they're in that energy, the reason you're showing them such compassion is because you have compassion for yourself when you were like that, you know? Like my twin, like she would have moments where I'm like, I was like in that situation. Like, I know how you feel. I know what you're thinking. I know why you think I'm crazy, or I know why you think I'm fucking too sensitive or whatever. It's because I was the other person where I would tell that to other people. I'd be like, you're too fucking sensitive. Get away from me. Like, grow up. Like, this is the real world. Like, you need to be tough. Like, that's what I used to be, right? And now I think I cried yesterday because, yeah, I think I mentioned it in a reading. I found an earthworm and it had dried up in the sun, and I couldn't deal with it because when I see them, I always put them back in the grass, and I like dig them a little hole, and then I put them in the grass, and then they like rehydrate, and they're fine. But this one, I went out late because normally I go out and I get like something to eat during the day. And I went out late yesterday, and I cried because the fucking earthworm dried up on the pavement. And I was like, I would have been here to save you if I'd have left it by normal time. Like, it was, I was really sad. Like, I want to think about it because I'll cry, right? If I'd have heard me say this when I was a teenager, I'd slap the shit out of myself. I'd be like, why are you saying that on fucking camera, bro? Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna go to the gym. Like, no, who cares? Like, it's a good thing to care about things, you know what I mean? Anyway, long story short, that's what your person is thinking. They're like, this is a blessing. Like, I want to embody that energy, you know? Because now they're missing it. They're like, I see why my person, meaning you, was in this energy, because I want to be treated like that. Everyone wants to be treated like that. Everyone wants to be seen and heard and known, you know? And they also really value that you do have that understanding of them. So if they've made a lot of mistakes in their life, a lot of people judge them for it. And a lot of people look down on them and just like try to shame them for like things they've been through, you know what I mean? Especially with the devil coming out twice here. This person has dealt with a lot of addictions. They've dealt with they probably had like a lot of hookups at one point in their life, or they just like were having a lot of like meaningless sex. Like, there's things that really drag down your energy, and a lot of people judge them for that shit, right? And here you come along, someone who, remember, they were very intimidated by you because they saw you as fucking amazing. They didn't see that you also have all this dark past. Like, you have all of this shit that you've been through. And for a while, they were so intimidated by you because they felt like they've been through so much. They felt like the devil talking to a fucking angel. You know what I mean? But in reality, you're half and half. You're always half and half. Like, I have a fucking dark-ass past. I've done a lot of stupid shit in my life. I've hurt a lot of people. I spent 4 years of my life just apologizing to people. I'm not kidding. Like, mushrooms, like, were the saving grace for me. Because it was the first, never did any, like I said, I grew up in a very bad environment, and addictions were prevalent all around me, especially alcohol. I've never touched alcohol. I fucking hate alcohol. And there was also like drugs around me, stuff like that. So I never touched anything. And I went the other way, where I was like, fuck anybody who does that. And then well, mushrooms aren't drugs, but I fell into addictions of other stuff at one point in my life, and that was actual drugs, you know what I mean? From like I was going through a lot of dark times. It wasn't intentional. The first time I had it was an accident, but it only takes once to get hooked, right? But anyway, so mushrooms fucked me up, because that's what they do. They're meant to show you all the ways that you can be a better person. Like, I love psychedelics. Everyone in their life should try psychedelics at least once. Otherwise, you're never going to be the best person you could possibly be. Like, you can be an alright person without ever doing psychedelics, but you'll never be amazing. If you want to be amazing, you need to confront the deepest fucking dark parts of yourself that mushrooms show you, right? And not just mushrooms, but LSD as well. But LSD grows your branches. Mushrooms set your roots. So you want to stick with the earthy mushrooms, because that's where you do the introspection. LSD is alright. It's fun, but it's external. It's not as internal. But anyway, what I'm saying is that showed me all the shit that I did in my life that was fucked. All the people I hurt with my behavior, you know, and things on my own journey that were reflected to me with my counterpart. And it just reminded me of things I did in my past. Like I said, I'm not proud of any of this that I'm saying, but I knew how to get people to fall in love with me easy. Like, when I was a teenager, I had so many people that I was not treating right? And so that was reflected back to me in my life. Trust me, I paid for it. I did, and I apologized to so many people, like I said, throughout the years. And did my best to make amends for the mistakes that I've made and stuff. But so when my counterpart, it brought back wounding that I didn't realize was still there. You know what I mean? Like, when you go through the journey, they're going to reflect things that you've done to other people. So how they treat you is how you treat yourself. So, like, when I felt like my counterpart was, it was a third party situation. Like, you know, I'm not going to get too much into that, but there's a reason, you know what I mean? Because I was doing that to people in the past, so of course it would be done to me as well. Like, it all ties in together, all right? That's what I'm saying. So your ability to have compassion for your person and to understand your person is because you have been through similar things, and the same with them. They weren't afraid of your past, or they weren't afraid of your darkness, because they also have a lot of fucking darkness, you know what I mean? If your demons can get along, then you're fucking golden. But they were connecting with people in their past and most of their life that would see their demons and run away, all right? Demons are not a bad thing. They have a bad rap, no pun intended, but demon rap, if you don't know what I'm talking. It's a genre of music. Anyway, what I'm saying is, you can't run from somebody's scars. You can't run from somebody's shadows and still say that you love them. That's not love, right? Because that would be conditional. Love is unconditional, meaning regardless of what somebody's fucking been through, if they are doing their best to, like, heal and treat people as they deserve, people can change. You know what I mean? I'm a living testament to that. So when people are like, oh, you can't fucking change, no one can change, I'm like, you are so small-minded. Like, open your mind, expand your mind, please. Like, people change every day. You know what I mean? It just depends if they want to, if they're willing to change. So, anyway, what I'm saying is, this person really appreciates that you never judged them. You were never afraid of them. You were never afraid of what they've been through, what they've done in their life, things that have happened to them you weren't scared of, because that's another thing. A lot of people, you probably see this in your own life, a lot of people are scared of someone who's been through a lot of trauma because they don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to help it. They don't know how to handle it. Like, a lot of people are afraid of that shit because they haven't experienced it, so they don't know how to they don't know how to do that. You know what I mean? But your counterpart is your you in another body, so they know you. Like, they're not afraid of you. You know what I mean? You both been through darkness, and you both see the most beautiful parts of each other. It's an equal balance. Like, people think that, you know, it has to be all great all the time. Love and light is bullshit, okay? Like, being authentic is what you should truly strive for. Being your authentic self. You know what I mean? If you're just like, oh, love and light, like, don't come to me with any bullshit because I'm in a high vibration all the time. No, you're not. You're just bypassing your fucking shadow work. Sit your ass down and deal with your demons, bro. God, otherwise they're gonna haunt you your entire life. Anyway. But that's seriously important. Like, you see a lot of people, especially because spirituality is like a trend now. They don't actually do the work. They just think it's trendy. So you're going to see it everywhere. People are like, oh, love and light, blessings. And yeah, that's a beautiful thing, but you can't be that way 24/7. Otherwise, you're not doing your shadow work. There are going to be times where you're like, everyone get the fuck away from me. I'm dealing with some shit. I'm going to go buy a pint of ice cream and sit by myself and cry. And people are like, oh, that's low vibrational. And you're like, what? That's actually the most beautiful thing you can fucking do, because it's authentic to yourself at that time. If you need that to get you through some core healing, that's some difficult fucking shit, do that. Because that's what you need at the time. You need to listen to what your body, your soul, your mind needs, alright? It knows what's best for you. So if it's going and buying fucking ice cream and watching a movie and crying for the night, do that, because you're releasing emotions that are built up inside of you that need to come out. You can't just bypass everything you're feeling to try to be, love and light all the time. That's not real. That, again, is a mask. It's a facade. You know what I mean? It's not real. True happiness is not just being happy all the time. It's being content and happy in who you are. So when you are going through hard times, when you're going through difficult emotions, it's just learning how to navigate them, right? So before, if you're like, oh, love and light all the time, you're bypassing your emotions. You don't know how to sit in your pain and deal with it and still maintain your high vibration. You don't know how to sit and fucking bawl your eyes out while still maintaining your authentic vibration. Like, don't be afraid. Love and light all the time is actually fear. You're afraid to go into the depths of your fucking soul and deal with your shit. You need to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, you'll never know another person. Ever. No one will ever fucking love you the way you're supposed to be loved unless you love yourself first. That's a fact. As within, so without. Right? So you guys know I'm gonna talk about this shit all the time, but anyway, back to the reading here. That's what this person is feeling, okay? And now I want to pull some oracle here. So this is an emotion deck. Let's see what it is. I love going on my little stories. That's the point. Like, I'm not making like quick content, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to sit down and actually learn something, here you go. Just gonna listen to me talk. You know what I mean? Alright. Let's see. Wow, look at that. What was I just talking about? Enlightenment, okay? It's all part of your journey. Everything's part of your journey, alright? It's fucking beautiful. What else? Instincts. Again, follow your instincts, right? If you think about nature, this is actually a really good example, and it's part of the reason I'm so adamant about my favorite ecosystem is the African ecosystem. And I've studied it my entire life. Like the savanna and all the relationships and the connections between all the animals of the savanna of Africa, right? You got lions, gazelles, warthogs, hyenas, jackals, leopards, cheetahs, everything, right? I've studied it my entire life. And now a really important thing you can learn from nature, when people like think about a lion eating a zebra, most people will be like, oh, poor zebra, that's so sad. How could the lion be like that? It's so evil. And then you have people that are like, fuck yeah, I root for the lion. You know what I mean? You have to realize that animals act on their instincts. They are the most authentic beings on the fucking planet. All right? That's what I was saying about quote unquote good and bad, or up and down, or what seems bad is beautiful for another thing. If that lion doesn't eat, for example, that means all its cubs will starve to death. Do you want to see a lion cub starve to death? I've seen it. It's fucking sad. Okay? Now, if you think about the zebra, if a zebra escapes the lion, they get to go feed their foal, and the foal will survive, right? There's always a deeper meaning to everything. It's not just, oh, the lion ate the fucking zebra, he's evil. Like, no, he's doing his job. Like, that's how they survive, you know what I mean? They are authentic to who they are. A lion is a lion. A zebra is a zebra. You know what I mean? If a lion was like, a love and light fucking lion, right? They're like, I'm never eating a zebra again. I'm just gonna eat grass like a zebra because I'm not gonna hurt anything. The lion will die, alright? It will fucking die immediately. And they don't do that because it goes against their instincts. It goes against their authenticity of who they are, right? So if you need an example or you just want to see what I'm talking about, watch some documentaries, okay? And you'll see what I'm fucking saying. Like, you gotta be authentic to who you are, which means, someone may perceive it as, oh, that's terrible, but in reality, it's the best fucking thing for you. You know what I mean? So, just keep that in mind. All right, let's move forward. Oh my god. Victim and dissipating. There's a movie that just reminded me of. There's a movie called Polly. It's about a bird. I don't remember if it's a parrot or something. It fucked me up my entire childhood, so I should probably watch that because apparently there's some healing I need to do there. But that's what this movie reminds me of. It's a really sad movie. I'm gonna bawl my eyes out every single time I watch it. But that's reminding me of this. That could be a message for you. But this person is just sitting there, feeling like, what the fuck is life now? Like, now that I don't have my person, I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I want to do. And then with Victim, they're just, this is them. They're like, how do I fix this? What the fuck do I even do in this situation? Because I don't know what to do. They're unsure of the next step to take. And that's going to be mirrored in your own life. You probably have a similar dilemma of like, what the fuck do I do now? Like, what do I do with this situation? You know what I mean? Wisdom. But you guys, you always have a higher purpose here, right? You always get a spirit back here guiding you on your journey. And just trust. Have that faith. Just fucking trust, okay? And, fucking beautiful. I'm feeling called to another deck, but which deck? This one. Again, don't ask me the names of these decks. I don't know. I've had them for so long, I'd never paid attention to the names of them. I just know them as this is my blue Native American deck. That's what I think of it. Eagle. See from a higher perspective. So I'm telling you guys, okay? Eagles are fucking awesome, by the way. I've been watching an eagle couple on TikTok. And they're so cute. So if you like that, you should watch them. But anyway, so eagles are incredible. And this is just saying how your person is having a very big perspective change here. And like I said, the way they see you and the way they see this situation has had a major upheaval and a major change. Sun. You actually have the sun right here on the bottom of this deck as well. Now this person sees you as everything. Everything they could possibly want in a partner, in a person, in a counterpart. Everything. A partner in life, like not even just romantically, but you know what I mean, like in business or in work or literally anything that they go through. They truly value you now. And that's what happens in twin flame separation, you know, especially when it's coming to an end and you're coming close to reunion, because you guys are very close to reunion, because the counterpart who was the chaser in the dynamic, whatever which one of you that was, but whoever was the chaser, they stopped chasing. Remember, we talked about that in the beginning. They stopped chasing and they poured all that energy into themselves instead, because they realized, I'm chasing somebody else because I feel like I'm lacking something within. I'm seeking that externally, and in turn, that is going to make your counterpart run, because they're like, damn, this person's trying to like get me to fill something in them. I can never fill that. They need to figure that out themselves, and that's why your counterpart runs, because remember, they're there to show you where you need to heal. So if you're chasing, they're going to run. But when you're at the end of separation and the chaser is no longer chasing, and they poured all that energy back into themselves, and they took that spotlight off of the person and put it back on them, and were like, you know what? I clearly have a lot of healings to do. I'm going to work on it. And because of that, because you now see your own self-worth and you love and care for yourself, now your counterpart sees you that exact same way. They love and care about you more than anything, and they just want to give to you like you've given to them. You know, they want to be an asset to your life, not a liability. You know, they want to be a partner to you, not a detriment, or not a hindrance. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. Alright, my voice is getting really tired, so holy shit, it's 10:30. I got up at 6 today, so I'm like, I didn't realize it was that late. White witch, be the light. This is exactly what I mentioned earlier, okay? Only do white magic, which is, you know, you want to do magic on yourself, like you want to do a spell for handling your difficulties in life better. Great. You're trying to do a spell to regarding another person, black magic, okay? Don't fuck with that. So, only do things for yourself, you know what I mean? Like sage your own energy, clear your own energy, use Palo Santo, use your magic, but only do it for things that are for you, specifically for you, for your best interest. Nothing to do with another person, nothing to do with an external situation, nothing external, only magic for within, all right? And here's another thing. Anyone that's trying to sell you something that can cut cords for you or that can remove blockages from your life, that's bullshit. It's not a real thing, all right? You're wasting your money. Because, like, look at, I just shuffled that whole time and it just came back out White Witch again. So I'm just going to keep this out. But I don't know why I shuffled it in the first time. I guess it was just meant to come out again. But what I'm saying is anyone who's trying to sell you that shit, it's bullshit, all right? No one can do your work for you. That's it. That's just a simple fact of it. So if you're buying a cord cutting session or, you know, you can go to Reiki. Reiki can help you, but it's not going to do the work for you. It's like, think of it like if you have a knot in your back and you go to a masseuse, right? And they loosen that knot for you. It makes it easier for you to relax that muscle and for you to fix it. But it's not fixing it for you. It's just helping you. That's an example, like Reiki, right? But if someone's selling you like, yep, you give me $100, I will remove this blockage from your life. You're being scammed. It's a waste of your money. That person may not be consciously scamming you. They may actually believe they're doing that, but they're not. All right? No one can do that for you but you. Only you can do your healing. All right? Just like no one can tell you something about your life. You know what I mean? Like if you go to somebody talking about your counterpart and they're like, oh, that's not your twin flame. Nah. They don't fucking know, bro. Only you know if you are a divine counterpart. And only you know who your divine counterpart is. No one can tell you that. So let's say your person at one point was, like we said, was going to other people for validation. Maybe they were going to them and being like, do you think this is my person? And then people were going to be like, no, never. When in reality, they don't fucking know. No one can tell them that. You know what I mean? That's something they know internally. And the reason they're seeking it externally for validation is because they don't have the confidence within themselves to trust their own inner knowing and to embrace the intensity of their feelings. Remember, they were running from it. So, yeah. I think I'm going to leave it there. And look at that. Shapeshifter. So transform and unveil your gifts. So like I said, you have a lot of gifts. And this person in the past was very intimidated by your gifts. But now they long for it. They miss it. They're inspired by it, you know? And like I said, going back to you, you're going to be thinking of your counterpart in the same way. You know, things, because you guys embody each other, but you're also opposite to each other. That's the point. For something to evolve, like for you to grow, you need a contrast, right? So your person is going to have qualities that you lack. And you're going to have qualities that your person lacks. That's why you guys look to each other for inspiration. You learn from each other. That's the whole point. So because they're looking at you that way, you're also looking at them that way. And it's fucking beautiful. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to leave it there. Wow, it's really late. I'm so excited too because tomorrow is supposed to be really nice. It's been cloudy every day or raining for like 3 weeks or 2 weeks at least. And tomorrow's supposed to be nice, so I'm going to fucking spend it out in the sun at the beach. I'm stoked. So tomorrow, if you can do some self-care too, do that. There's a hair. Little fuzz. But anyway, I hope you have a great day. I'm getting tired now. My voice is starting to go, but thank you. I appreciate you watching. I hope it helped you. And I will see you in the next one.